Hello everybody, I'm Dan TZ from Violin. Welcome to this brand new video. Now, no, this isn't going to be a gaming video, as you can obviously tell by the great garbage can on the floor. Um, but it's not going to be a vlog either, you should be able to tell by that either. But anyway, this is more of an update video, definitely in terms of regarding content, and just in general, my whole motivation and everything going forward with the channel and with the content. Um, so, the last, I'd say, roughly 2.5 months or so, which includes 3 straight weeks that I suddenly was super motivated to do content. And I was doing content literally every single day. And without fail, finally, for 3 straight weeks. Um, when that ceased, it was because of the fact that I went into a mental, and specifically mentally wise, it was emotional slump. I just suddenly dipped so far down that I had definitely struggled with my first depression ever, to where my high point to getting back out of it really probably wasn't technically a high point. It was more like just above the pit, because I would go back into it 2 more times, and the second time, or the third time, the last time I went into it, though it seems like it would have been like at least a month ago, it actually was only about, about 2.5, 3 weeks ago now. Um, and that was I went into that third mental slump the same exact night, just suddenly dive down every time. The same exact night that I won the PewDiePie giveaway. And I did that live stream with the whole thumbnail with the snapshot of the ASDF comic guy, where he's screaming because he told the doctor, "I'm afraid of backstories," and he asked him, "I wonder that story." Which I love that so much. But anyway, and of course I have personal experience with that. But nevertheless, the point is I was like, even in that live stream, you can tell that I was still pretty happy and stuff, and I was definitely up there and having a lot of fun. But I just suddenly went off a cliff that night, shortly thereafter, and I decided I needed to completely take a break for a long time to just figure that out and get rid of it. I never figured out why I was having that period, but I did have it for. I had it for a long time, about at least a month and a half, 2 months straight. Dipped 3 times. That was the third time. I haven't had it since, so hopefully it won't come back again. But yeah, so I had that for about a week and a half, that slump, and right as I was about to be motivated to do videos again, boom, I just got nailed, like just right off the bat, instantaneously, boom, my throat got obliterated by a super nasty case of what we think is strep throat, and I'm still confident it's definitely strep. I mean, every time I've ever had strep, it matched it perfectly. Um, so the staphylococcus was going nuts overboard in my body for some reason, because it's naturally there. That's the stuff that goes nuts when you get strep throat. It's just because it's gone. It's suddenly erupted into a population boom and causes everything to go haywire. Um, so yeah, I had that for 2 weeks roughly, and then we had the Christmas, and then we had a few other plans and arrangements I had to deal with. Then followed quickly thereafter procrastination. I had procrastination for about a week and a half or so before finally I got into doing content again, which was when I first recorded the funny moments that was released recently of Golf with Friends, Golf with the Dutch, funny moments. And of course today, which is actually tomorrow now when you see this, it's both of the Golf with the Dutch videos are actually from the same recording session, but that was the day that I officially finally sat down and recorded content. I also recorded that last episode of Minecraft Void's Wrath in that same period. I believe it was the last episode, or was it the one before that? No, it was actually the episode before that, I think. Yeah, it was. Anyway, yeah, and today I was about to sit down, because I have some really good ideas, and I still enjoy this series a lot, which is the Minecraft Void's Wrath. I mean, I really, really, really enjoy that for some reason. Even if I don't feel motivated to do it at first, I don't see a point in it. As soon as I sit down and start playing it, you can tell I just start having a major blast. But anyway, I was about to sit down and film that tonight, but then I didn't. Various things ended up happening. I really should have, but obviously high on something and stuff, so it's like, oh, crap. But, it was just, the main thing that got me to even be hesitant in the first place was that demotivation I felt for the last, like, 3 straight months, which is brought up by the fact that I, I feel like I'm typecasting myself to very specific content, and I hate that feeling because my entire objective was to be as variety ridden as possible. All these big YouTubers nowadays say that you can't go for big variety because it kills channels. And like, fine, then I'll kill my channel. I don't care because I want to enjoy it. And, you know, if I'm enjoying myself, then everybody else is going to enjoy it. Because if you're not enjoying yourself as a content creator, nobody else is going to enjoy it because they're going to know that you're going to be not enjoying yourself, and therefore they don't enjoy themselves. This thing is evil, I swear. I'm resting my arm on it, it's just popping because it's tin. Anyway, yeah, and I hate that feeling, yeah, because one of the main things is not only is that the case, I don't feel like it's fair to you guys, let alone myself, but I have, just in Steam alone, I have 100 games, at least 100 games. 100 games, which is a hell of a lot. And the most I can play and record at the same time is 5. However, that 5th one, it's kind of iffy, wishy-washy. It depends on who you are and if you personally would count it as being able to be true content and stuff that people can enjoy. Because it tends to be laggy when I play it, and you can get framiness and stuff, and it's just not great for content in that sense. So I don't count that in the list of games I can record, and why I haven't recorded in a long time, which is Rocket League. So I mean I can get away with it, but it's very, very debatable. It's 50-50 on if that's really should be considered being able to be recorded okay or not. So it's really 4 games, I feel like, personally, that I can record without too much issue, too much lag, all that I have on Steam. So, recording-wise, I can only record 5% of the games I have on Steam, because there's 100 games, at least, I have on Steam, and if I literally say I have a flat 100, I can only play 4 games, that's 96% of the games I have on Steam I still can't play or record. I have endless amounts of games that would have given such a vast array and variety of content on my channel that I would have, as soon as I could, I would have started recording it. That definitely includes Arma 3, that includes Ark, that includes City Skylines, it includes just a vast array of things. Now Trials Fusion, really recently. There's just so many different games that I could record if I didn't have this crappy computer that you hear screaming in the background along with the fan, but you hear the power supply in front of that thing. There's so many things about this computer that are just the crappiest thing. It's as if I'm using a computer at best I can give it is probably like from like 2004 or 5. Though realistically, the functionality of it is closest akin, in my personal experience, to something from like 2000, 2001 at the latest. And I have plenty of personal experience with computers from then and back further, and it's akin to that, which is stupid, but that's how bad it is. And so it's like, and it's literally the computer. That's the only thing that prevents me from ever being able to play those games. Now, when it comes to not recording, I can play, I'd say, roughly 10 games on Steam without too much issue. There's still a little bit of issue, usually, in about half of those, but not too much. And that's if I don't record it. As soon as I start to record, everything goes to shit, basically. So, recording 96% of the games, or 96 of the 100 games I have on Steam, I can't play. I can't record. If I'm playing them, then it's 90% or 90 of the 100 games I have on Steam I can't even touch, because of the fact that my computer will go and outer ape shit on me for trying to even begin to even hesitate to think about maybe considering a thought about playing it. It's that bad. It's so stupid. And again, you know, those are the two parts of the whole typecasting, so to speak, and content demotivation I've had for 3 months. It's like, I don't feel like I want to produce content until whenever the hell I get all the parts I need for my PC to be built, and then actually have my PC built. I mean, honestly, like, that's what I want to do. I just want to wait until that point, however far out that might be, and I feel like it's going to be pretty far out, although then again, I don't know. I mean, there's various things that are likely to change how far out that would be pushed, but even then, it's still really, really rough. So I'm not going to entirely stop doing content, but you'll definitely see that I'm going to look like I'm inactive for the most part again for a substantial amount of time, because I feel like there is no point in creating the same content over and over and over. So that would be this War of Mine. I'm going to finish that series out, and then I'm going to end up finishing out the series on Void's Wrath, at least the season of Void's Wrath. Whenever that's going to be. That's going to be further extended out, I imagine, than this War of Mine. No matter how successful we do on this War of Mine. So it sucks, but that's the way the cookie is going to crumble, because it's not even like mentally or emotionally making me feel healthy. It's making me feel kind of semi-depressed, like almost like I'm a failure, almost like, what the, like, this thing is such a piece of crap. I have that many games. I've had so many of them since the beginning of 2015, which it's going to be, what is it? It's going to be the 14th tomorrow, I think? No, it's going to be the 13th. There's going to be, when you see this tomorrow, it's going to be 4 days. 4 days, that's it, just 4, till the 3rd year anniversary of my channel, what I consider that, which is when I first uploaded the first video ever to my channel. It was January 17th of 2015. It's going to be 3 years and 4 days from when you see this. 3 years of doing this content creation. It's mind-blowing to have even been that remotely that long. It's hard to believe it could possibly have been that long. It's almost been 3 years of my short nearly 24-year-old life. I can't believe it. But anyway, it's man, but anyway, it's just super cool. But at the same time, look at the variety of content I've had even over the 3 years. It was much more variety-ridden in 2015, even though it was still primarily Minecraft. And then secondarily, occasional Roblox, along with Happy Wheels. There was still a handful of other content I would produce in there. And then I even did The Witcher 3 for a while, which I had an absolute blast with, because I was clueless playing that game. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I didn't know anything about the backstory of the entire series behind the characters or anything. And yet, I was immersed in it, and I was enjoying myself. I was being a stupid dork, intentionally bumbling around, while, even if I tried not to, I still would have done it, so why not, right? And that's just kind of how I play games anyways. I'm just casually bumbling around, doing a dipstick, not really paying much attention, and then when I do, I'm still clueless, but I try and grasp what I can, and I think I did a pretty good job of that. Problem was, it was a modern game on this crappy computer, but it wasn't Windows 10 yet either. Windows 10 really tanked this thing into utter hell. But it was starting to get bad at that point. But it was still better because I could actually still play it. Even though it was so funny. This year, like somewhere around like March or April, I think, of this year, I got a comment on one of those videos of The Witcher. And the person was like, you need to stop doing this series until your computer can handle it because it's really framey. I'm like, that's kind of why I stopped doing it midway through the playthrough, because of the fact that it was too framey even for me eventually. I'm just like, this isn't fair. So I let it go. Over a year ago. Like, you're pretty late to that party, buddy. But I just respectfully was like, yeah, that's why I stopped over a year ago, halfway through. The best thumbnails I ever got was in the snapshots I got, the screen caps I got while editing those videos together for YouTube. I'm still to this day, I love the snapshots I got from that game. Even though I was even in the game, I was still playing on low settings. because that's the most my computer could ever handle. Even when I didn't record it, I still had just as much frame lag, and just as much lag in general with that game that I did as I did when I recorded it, oddly enough. But anyway, that was aside the point. But the point is that was fantastic. Now we're just sitting here reminiscing instead. But anyway, yeah, there was a big variety of content, and then Rocket League came in, and like 2 other games I did came in, and then of course I did indie games as well. Which actually, if you look at the video playlist of the popular uploads, I love occasionally looking at that and seeing how things are changing around. But for the most part, the videos I've done that have overall gained the most views, behind NASCAR Rumble, which actually is consistently the most viewed videos I've ever done, is NASCAR Rumble. But the second one is actually an indie game I did I think 5 or 6 videos on, and it was Species, oh God, Artificial Creation, Real Life or something like that. Species, something like that.
Did you lock the gate today?
Which gate? You mean this one? I didn't even use that gate. I always use this gate. Yeah.
Is that gate open?
I have no clue. I know that Nathan stopped, when he kept using the gate whenever he's doing meth and stuff, he stopped using that one and used that one because he realized there's a window here that he can be seen through. There's no window over there. So he now uses that one. And that gate was ajar by about a foot. Because I closed and locked it, but then I went out there with Mom, and it was ajar by about a foot. So they've already been using that gate.
Well, one of them was open. Right?
That's the one it was. It was over there.
The one over there?
Mm-hmm. Like I said, he stopped using that one because he knows I can see him if he does that. Because there's a window there.
You didn't use the gate?
No. I only used the gate when I did the leaves, but I immediately closed it and locked it.
Come back through and lock?
Yeah. I always lock it when I'm done. So he was the one who opened it again. So they immediately started using it as soon as they got here. Right, so where was I? Yeah, so Species ALRE, I think is what it was. Right? Artificial Life, yeah, Artificial Life, I think it was Real Existence or something like that. Anyway, ALRE I think is what it was. Anyway, that was an indie game that was being produced, and I would play it, and I had a lot of fun, especially considering that's where I ended up doing Crash Team Explodey, which was a Markiplier thing actually originally, with the first ever Kerbal Space Program stuff he did, which was actually a substantial amount of time ago. I think he started doing that even before he hit 1 million subscribers, back in 2012. So that was actually interesting. I think that was 2013. I can't. I think he started playing that when he did his first official big charity live stream. Actually, I think on YouTube. I'm pretty sure is when he did that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's where that came from. The whole Crash and Explodey idea. But anyway, it's the first Kerbal Space Program thing. I think he did. Wow, I cannot speak that sentence. How hard I try, I've already failed it. Tongue twisted myself every time. You get the idea. Anyway. Yes, so that's... Anyway, so I have a video titled Crashing Explodey. Because the game would crash at random. You never knew when it was going to do that, but it would crash. And it always, for me, when I recorded, for some reason, it was always at an interesting time. I was like, right as it was really getting good, it was just, goodbye. Like, oh, you having fun? Fuck you. Like, yes. This is how games should be. But, no, it was interesting and entertaining. But anyway, that's my second most viewed set of videos I've ever done. Actually, if you look at my popular opus, you'll see them pretty well stacked up with each other, out of order, interestingly enough. But anyway, so that was cool. But yeah, that was also where I did Hannibal Lecter is addicted to AA. To Alcoholics Anonymous. Har har. I can't remember what that joke was about. That was so long ago, though. I can't remember if this was my first year or my second year. I think it was my second year, but I'm not entirely sure. That's a good thing to look back at, whether for you guys or myself. But anyway, what did I mention that for? Right, because that was another set of variety in my videos I had. I technically still play that game, though that was laggy too for me. For reasons I have no clue. It's not like it had, super modern advanced graphics. It's nothing like that. But I don't know. That's a good question. Huh. Alright. Besides the fact that obviously my computer's just been a crappy piece of crap ever since the beginning. Super. Yeah. So that's getting back to the point where I'm a rambler. I ramble. I should most of my own vines pretty much. Apologize for that. That's just kind of how I am. I'm attention deficit, so I spur off on all these different ideas and thoughts from another to another. I try to do my best, but occasionally I just let myself go, like I've done in this one. It's kind of fun because I'm reminiscing, right? On a nearly 3 years of doing this, it's insane. But yeah, so you'll definitely keep seeing, brain. You'll keep seeing a brain on your face. No, you'll keep seeing this War of Mine revamped until that series is done. However it ends. Hopefully it's because I survive. That'd be kind of cool. I think it'd be the very first time because I for some reason can competently play at least one game, semi-competently, and survive it and actually win it. How I do that, I have no clue. It's not on easy mode. So that'd be kind of cool. It's like, it's the only game I've ever succeeded in winning. Isn't it odd? Because it's a strategy game too, right? So it's like, how did you do that? But I did it. Yeah. I think the way this is going, because we're already, I think when I ended the recording it was like day 22 or 23. That would mean that I've already surpassed my original record of 20 days by that many days. And it's still going, we're still going really strong and consistent, which means that we're probably going to make it, because I think I made it 60 days, so we're probably going to make it somewhere like, it's either 40 or 60. I think it did to 40 just because I didn't want it hyper-extended, like a super, super long thing. I think I did to 40. If I did it to 40, we'll probably have the last person somehow manage to get killed or die on day like 38 or 39. Like, of course. So right freaking there, at the finish line, is like, goodbye. No, I'm good. I see the finish line and I realize, hey, but this war has become me. Like, no, I hate you. Yeah. But I still feel like that the Void's Wrath Season 1 is going to definitely go at least a little longer than this War of Mine, though given there's a lot of days more, a lot of more progress to make. It depends on if we end up somehow managing to get everybody killed or something. Very inherently possible with me, I really hope not. I've already done so well, and it's been consistently doing well. Even when we have a horrible thing happen, somehow we bounce back pretty quick. So, I hope that doesn't work out that way. That would suck so bad. Yeah. Anyway. Definitely going to keep doing both those, though, until they're done. And Void's Wrath, I have so many ideas for it. Like I said, I was going to do a bunch of convert all some of those ideas tonight, but then I didn't do it because all the stuff happened here, and then at the same time, it's just I have a hard time keeping myself motivated enough when I think about going on 3 years and how I haven't really had any variety content, yet I have always had the potential and the ability to do that, except for the main thing you need to be able to convert on that potential and that ability, which is a actually functional computer system. Joy. Theater. What? Anyway, but that, and then there's actually technically another devotimating factor for me. Devotimating? I think I said devotimating. Devotimating factor. No. Demotivating factor. Man, that was really dyslexic. That's something like my mom would do. Damn. Anyway, demotivating. So dyslexic. Demotivating factor is that. Lost my train of thought. Anyway, there's two of them that I've actually mentioned in a handful of videos before. The last couple of years. So if you look back at my various Let's Talk or update videos or whatever, then you'll definitely see or hear it in one of them. So I guess I won't go into that now, especially since this is already hyperextended beyond belief, and I didn't mean to make it this long. I meant to just kind of make it to the point. So I suck. Sorry. But anyway, so yeah, you don't expect consistent uploads or episodes or anything like that, because yeah, I'm having a really rough time keeping myself motivated and all that, unfortunately. So, but yeah. That's about it. Like, there's not what else to say. I haven't had any of the giveaway items come in yet. Of course, they did say they were going to ship them on the end of December, and I haven't literally heard nothing since then. And that was around was it the same day? Yeah, that's the same day I won it. Whenever that was, sometime in early December, I think it was. So yeah, it was like December 1st, I think. Pretty sure it was December 1st. Anyway, yeah, and it's been about a half. Not quite, obviously. I'm giving myself a little extra credit there in the time. I'm always exaggerating. It's been 12 days into January. So, I mean, it's probably going to be here, I would imagine, sometime beginning of February, to be generous. But I don't even know, like, how it's going to ship. Like, I literally have no clue who's going to ship through, what service it's going to be shipped by, any tracking IDs. I have no clue when it's going to come, where it's coming from exactly, or anything like that. I have no clue if everything's going to come separately, or everything's going to come to cluster truck together, or what's going to happen. Like, I literally haven't the faintest clue. So that's kind of fun, I guess. It's like a twisted form of a party. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, but then I'll get a GTX 1080 out of that. My sister's like, his sister and her boyfriend, with who builds computers, basically as a hobby, kind of, because he knows it really well. They both were telling me, dude, you totally need to sell that 1080, and you need to get like a 1050. That's all you need. Problem is, I don't listen to people who say that, especially considering, one, 1080s are very expensive. They're top of the line, and like they never tried to record any videos with games before, especially unoptimized, really advanced games, especially if you had to have mods and stuff in it, like Ark. I want to be able to do a lot of modded Ark. That would be so freaking cool. And I hate it whenever I see content with mods on the games, because then all I ever am interested in is the modded game. Like, so many, like, I'm the opposite of a purist, including in my casual gamer state I am in, which is I'm always doing casually, like, everything about it. Even when I'm being competitive, I'm still casually competitive. Like, I don't really care about the end result. I'll still do my best, but like, if I still end up in last place, I don't really care. If I end up in first place, that'll be really trippy and bizarre, and I'll feel extremely foreign to that, because, like, that's not supposed to happen. Who do I kill? Like, don't do this to me. This is torture. Supposed to lose. Anyway, but, that's kind of who I am when I game, obviously, so it's just, I kind of took myself off of my train of thought again, because it was spurring off again. Anyway, I just... Oh, boy. Girl, snake, dog, cat. Yeah, who knows. There will probably be vlogs at some point within the next month or two, with, somebody I know on Twitter fairly well that lives around here, named Otto. In fact, he has a YouTube channel called Automotive Vlogs. OTTO. Motive, like automotive, but instead with the OTTO, says his name. But yeah, me and him are working on arranging plans to do some vlogs together, and we're thinking about doing podcasts too. Like, but the podcast would be, like, I like the casual general topic idea of podcasts, like the original podcast, where it didn't really necessarily have a certain set of topics they would try to focus on. Rather, it would just be kind of anything that they felt like they wanted to talk about. They just literally talk about it. That would be really cool. But we are going to have... It's going to be like that, but there is technically going to be somewhat of a focus on our local transit agency, TriMet. Because we're transit nerds and nuts, and we're called TriMet Watchdogs, basically, like a bunch of other, even former employees and stuff, like, because they're so bad. We're transit reliant, so it's like we're reliant on this pile of crap to transport us to wherever else we're trying to go, and it's damn near impossible, and it's hell-ridden, and you're always going to be late or extremely early, usually extremely late, It just, everything about it sucks. So it's like, let's talk about that. Because there's such a stupid passion for poking fun at and making fun of and picking on and even ranting about how stupid it is and stuff. So it's I think it would actually turn out to be really cool, especially for other transit nuts, especially that are stuck with the hellholes that is supposedly quote unquote transit, which really isn't in the United States. It just sucks. But so I'm excited. So you can look forward to things like that at some point within the next 2 to 3 months. I'm going to be generous with that timeline too, because nobody knows the future, and with me, things tend to be further out than we even sometimes are planned, because I'm a master procrastinator, basically. And I'm like, oh, outside? No, I'm a recluse, sorry. Closer to the wall. Closer, I can't get close enough to the wall. My wall and the floor is my friend. This box I'm in is my only friend. But not that bad, but it's still. Like, that's cool. Of course, I've basically, in a way, starting to found my own little startup of my own little business type of thing, which is going to be cool. Even if it doesn't necessarily get me that much income at first, it's still there's so much potential for it to expand outward and get better, bigger and better, and all that eventually if I work on it. And I'm intent on doing it because hey, it's a stay-at-home job. It fits me perfectly, and I feel like I know just about everything well enough that I need to know for it to be successful at it. So why not, right? Yeah, so that's gonna be worked on, and then I gave Otto an idea because he's a very engineering kind of mind, and he has the know-how and stuff and ability for that and all that. So then I always have had the more inventor type of creative, imaginative mind where I come up with concepts, conceptual mind, I guess. I just don't have the know-how or the ability or the knowledge to be able to apply to actually physically making something. Or the tools and utensils and materials, he does. So I mentioned something to him that I knew he would be super into, and lo and behold, we're both super into the idea, and it's one of those things where it could literally be a utility, a simple, cheap, easy utility that it could be the multi-million-dollar idea that everybody talks about. Which, if you think about it, most of those, what are they? They're cheap, small, and efficient, but just something that you wouldn't necessarily have thought of. Or maybe you did, but you didn't think of, like, oh, this is just something you think of DIY for yourself to temporarily fix something, but in reality it actually is capable of being a long-time thing for people if you think about it in a certain way. And in this case, there's a lot of different ways, and certain industries, especially film and stuff, that this would actually be and recreational people, that would be a lot of fun for them to collaborate on and work with and use, and it would be so cool. And it's just a really awesome concept, I think, and it gives a much cheaper alternative to what people normally use, which is drones. So it would be really, really awesome. But set facts aside, that's this video. I hope you guys got the gist of it, and I apologize for it not being what you would come to expect this channel to give, again, which is gaming videos, and that consistent video, yes. Problem is not gaming, right? So it sucks. And then that, like, you're just trying to get consistent already. You're telling us you're not going to be consistent anymore. You like, I completely understand that. However, every single time I've gone inconsistent, I grow like 2 subscribers on average, and they stay. As soon as I start uploading consistently, I lose 2 subscribers. When I start uploading consistently, I lose the subscribers. When I stop uploading consistently and suddenly there's this huge gap in videos, I gain them back again. I swear they have to be the same people. And I know that they're the people that have their subscriptions on private because they aren't listed on my subscriber list. So it's like, these motherfuckers. It's like anytime I've ever, and all the times, I've posted creative verse videos. There's one single account that all they do is they go onto my creative verse video and they instantly dislike it. And you can tell by the annotations and statistics, they don't stay any longer than it takes to push the dislike button and leave. I don't know what it is. It's like they see my channel attached to a Creativerse title, and automatically they're like, I'm going and I'm disliking this video and leaving. I literally, this has happened ever since I first got my channel. There's been one criminal unsubscriber, I call them, where they're obsessive with subscribing, unsubscribing, subscribing, unsubscribing, subscribing, unsubscribing, subscribing, unsubscribing. I now have 2 of those, and they're now in sequence. And the sequence is literally as I just explained priorly, which is every time I start uploading consistently, they unsubscribe, and then every time I stop uploading and there's a big gap in videos, they resubscribe. And they stay until I start uploading it, and they unsubscribe, and they stay unsubscribed until I stop. What's with that? And then, yeah, and then I have the other troll, which is that they're trolling me by going to literally waiting for any time. They're so dedicated that it was 2.5 years total span of time, from the first video I uploaded on Creativerse to the latest video I uploaded on Creativerse, which was my re-review of my review of Creativerse, because I felt like I was too pessimistic and too much of just a really negative mental state in that first one, and I did feel like I was being too critical, and so I made the second one. That was late last year. In fact, it was like November of last year, around Thanksgiving of last year, I think, maybe a little later. And so 2.5 year span from the first Creativerse video I ever did to that one, and a break of about 1.25 years, I think, between the last Creativerse video and then that one, which would have been the review, and then that last review one. And that same exact person, I know it's the same exact person because, again, the statistics and everything said the exact same thing. It was just long enough to leave a dislike and leave the video. That's it. What the fuck? And it was the first viewer of my Creativerse videos. Every time, without fail. Dislike, leave. I have this, like, props for being dedicated, but I have an uber dedicated Creativerse troll dedicated to disliking my videos. Creativerse. They've literally never watched more than a second of my video, because that's all it takes for them to dislike and leave. Like, they don't even know if they dislike my Creativerse videos or not, because they just automatically dislike. But they're dedicated as heck, because 2.5 year span and then like 1.25 year break between videos, and they're right there immediately after that last video. It's like, it was the most hilarious and greatest thing. It actually made me super happy and kind of elated. I'm like, what the heck? This is such a cool thing. What is the weirdest, most unique set of trolls I've ever heard. It's so cool. And then the other one, yeah, I haven't heard of anybody but one single person that's had somebody that does that, where they have this routine where they incessantly subscribe and unsubscribe. And obviously they're intentionally the ones doing that. It's not YouTube doing that, it's them doing that. It's like, but why though? Like, it's the weirdest thing, and now I have 2 of them. It's like, they're just, it's a weird form of trolling I've only ever heard one other person have on YouTube, and it's like, what is with this thing? Other than the Creativerse one, then I've never heard of anybody like that. Ever. On YouTube. Like, nobody's ever mentioned something like that. I have 2 sets of unique trolls, 3 in total, therefore, individually. It's like, what the heck? It's a really cool experience, actually. It's like, hey, I have a unique thing I can say I have. I've always had these dedicated trolls to my channel. Why not, I guess? I don't understand it, but sure. It's kind of a bonus. But anyway. So, yeah, I said this at the end of the video, what, like now? Probably 5, 6, 7 minutes ago. So I'm going to actually end it here. This is more turned into purely reminiscing. I apologize for that. I'm rambling, of course, but hopefully you get the gist of it. And hey, maybe you got a kick out of it or something. I don't know. And hope you guys understand. Like I said, I feel like it's unfair to you guys as much as I feel like it's unfair to myself. So I'm gonna stop. But that means that basically you're gonna see these until the end, and then maybe you'll see an occasional update video, or maybe an occasional vlog or something. Maybe a random collab video. Random video I decided to do, a few videos here and there, up until I get all the parts for my PC, and then you're gonna hopefully be able to see the PC being built, but then again I have no clue. At least you'll be able to see the end product, and I will, before I even test the game and test recording, I'm just gonna automatically do it for you guys. So I'm gonna literally, as soon as I get the new computer, the plan has been since the beginning of the concept of getting a new computer built is I'm gonna immediately kickstart it, let everything load up, shut everything that's unnecessary, of course, that Windows always does that. I can, because they usurp, they're actually the administrator, even if you're the administrator account, they're like that, but we're actually the administrator, so fuck you. Like, so here's the one I can. But yeah, that's all I'm going to do, and then instantly boot up a game, boot up a recording software, and a really modern, advanced, say, an optimized, like an ARC, have it on epic settings, the highest settings you can, and then have the recording software in the highest I can. And hope to God that it works perfectly without any issues. And if it does, you can bet your ass you're going to see that video. Even if it literally has no objective other than me just dorking out and just geeking out about how freaking elated I am. I can finally do that. Oh, I'm so going to do that. This is the first thing I'm going to do to baptize it. It's just like... And that way, that's when you will definitely know it's time. Suddenly all the videos are going to come and it's going to be like 90% consistent. I say 90% because obviously I'm still going to have to focus on a business first and work basically for a decent amount of time, 80-90% consistent therefore. But again, this is also well out into the future, so who the heck knows what happens, right? I mean, that's kind of the greatest thing, but also the baddest thing, the worst thing about this, so. But again, here we are 5 minutes later after I said, I'm going to end this video right here. I'm a horrible person. I'm not even going to edit this. I mean, I'm going to put this up raw, because not only do you get the real me and all everything and all that, but you get all my different thoughts and just how my brain works and how I just go on things. And basically, you'll get tons of nostalgia, especially if you've been here since near the beginning. Why not? I mean, it's 3 years, so even a year, you probably have a decent amount of nostalgia. But if you've been here more than 2 years, then one, you're super dedicated. Two, I did not think that you'd ever go and watch one of my videos, because I don't have consistent viewership. I have consistently had about 160 subscribers for, I think, 5 straight months now. It's hard to believe it's been that long. And still, even at my peak points, I average about roughly 4 or 5 views on videos. Showing that most people are dormant, so to speak. And they're just kind of hibernative, like, I'll subscribe, but I don't care. Like, you go, girl. Whatever. Yeah, so it happens. But yeah. Of course, I've toyed with the idea of rebooting a channel, like, once I get the new computer, like, completely rebooting it. Like, no, I just need to start a new channel and go from there, right? But I like the criminal violin thing, and technically I've branded myself so much as that I think that it'd be stupid to trounce it. I mean, that name it's surprising the amount of impact that alias has given to people without them even realizing it. Like, it's insane. Like, occasionally people, like my little cousin Sean, will actually call me criminal. It's like, it almost comes naturally now because I get it from a lot of different people, and it's like, it's still, well, I think it will always perpetually surprise me that, like, it made that much of an impact, like, off the bat, like, criminal, or violin, and it's like, it's made a lot of impact, and I kind of figured that it might make some impact, at least stick to people's minds, because it's an eccentric name. Like, who comes up with these names, right? Exactly. I've literally been asked that, like, what, how did you come up with that? The only thing I say is, it came off the top of my head, because it literally did. It was just one of those things where my brain just, pew, here you go! Sounds great. Got it. Like, okay. It's kind of cool. Although, 2 of them did have me, which is Gerbil Man Boa, which was the OG, so to speak, is the original. And that was because I love gerbils. And then I'm a goy, I think, at least last time I checked. I have a vagina now. And then Boa, just because, I don't know, it sounded, that was the part that was off the top of my head for sure. It was just kind of, I guess, went together in my mind. That actually made a decent impact too, actually. And then the second alias after that was Chaotic Econut, and that was strictly Twitter. And that was because I felt like I'm a chaotic person that's an econut. I love the outdoors so much, so that was interesting. But people of every single alias I've ever had, like, how the heck did you come up with that name? Where did you get the idea for that? So, yeah, off the top of my head. So if you ever need a memorable, odd name, I guess I'm your person for that. Like, just ask me when I'm not thinking about anything, and my brain will probably go like, how about this? Like, what the fuck? What did that? You know what? Never mind. That's what I needed. I apparently. But anyway. And 5 minutes later. Yeah. Here we go. Anyway. Stay safe, stay fluffy. Have a great day. Or hope you got the gist. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you got a kick out of something. And hope you had a lot of nostalgia. Otherwise, yeah, I'll see you in each of the next videos, I guess. And, yeah. Seriously, hope you enjoy yourself and find plenty of positivity and life. You know, you find a way to swap it around so life isn't kicking you while you're kicking its ass. Because, man, don't we all need that? But yeah. See you later, and bye-bye.